In this Tkinter window, we have two buttons here. One is enabled and another second button is disabled. Now on click of this button, I can enable this button and I can click this or use the functionality. Again, I can change this button state by clicking this. So now again this button is disabled and I can't use this. So let's just click this and again make it enable. All these changes, whatever we are doing to the both these buttons, say I am changing the text or written over this button, and this state of this button also I am changing to disable to enable. All this I am doing by changing the attributes of this button. Now these attributes, what are the attributes, how to list it, how to change it, all you have read it in the second part of it. Now we'll see using those attributes how we'll achieve this application. Hi friends, let's continue our learning from our previous tutorials and develop this application. But before we move, my request is please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified as and when we add new tutorials, and we are frequently doing that also. Let's start the script. This is our basic template. We'll start from here. We'll place two buttons. So we'll start with BT1. We'll learn more about buttons separately, but this is for this understanding the attributes and all, we are using two buttons. So button my underscore W, this is my parent window. So on the first button, we'll write the text enable, because first time this should make it enable the second button. Actually the second button the state will change. Now let's give a higher font equal to 22. Now let's give a this one a BG or the background equal to light yellow. Something slightly prominently it will be visible. Now let us give the command to this. Okay, before that we will not give command right now. Let's remove it. We'll see the layout first, then we'll give the command. Now this button we have to press it on a grid, because to make it visible, bt1.grid. Now where I will placing? I am placing in the first row. So row equal to 0, column equal to again 0, first row, first column. So it should not flush with the left edge. So I am giving a little gap there. So pad x equal to 50, and from the top also I am giving a pad y equal to 20. So pad x, pad y. Now the second button I will go. What I will do, I will just copy this, paste it here. Now this I am giving BT2 or button 2. Below that also button 2. Row 0. Now it will be right of it. Column 1. So right of the first button. Pad x slightly I am reducing 20. Pad y whatever it is, let it it will be in the one line only, so no problem. Now here I will slightly change this for this one. Text is here, this is not making any change. So let's say this is a submit button. Though we are not adding any functionality right now, we are take it. But here first what we will do is we'll give the state, means initially let it be disabled. So this button will be in disable. It can be a active, normal or disable. These three values the state can take. So we are telling it disable this button. Once it is disabled means we cannot click it, or in a common language we cannot add any functionality to this button. So fine. Now actually when we click this button, when we make the button enable, to make it prominently appear when you press the button, when the button is pressed, we'll say active background. Active background means when the button is pressed, the color should change. Let's say light green. So this is just to make it visually more appealing. So but when it is disabled, I can't do that. So I am bringing it to next line. So fine. This is there. Now because state is disabled, I can't click this. So let's remove this background also, because let it take its own color. So let's just run it and see how this looks. Here it is. So this you can see, I can't click this button. If I am clicking, nothing is happening. But this I can click it. But we have not added any functionality to this button. So we'll add the functionality, run a function and change the value. So this button attributes we can change. Let's add the command attributes to the first button. I am going to the next line and writing commands. What will happen when the button is clicked? I am just saying that lambda. So this lambda will run a small command. So what will happen, this I am saying that call this function myupd or whatever name you want to give. Call this function once this button is clicked. So so far I have not written the function. I will write it now. What I am defining it here, myupd. This is the call this function when the first button is clicked. So inside this I will write the code. What I am going to do is, first let me read the state of the second button. If bt2, you know, the previously we have discussed in the part 2 how you will read the particular attribute. I am reading the state attribute. Here you see the state attribute, we have set it by default to disabled. So what I am saying is here, if this state equal to, this is I am comparing it is, so if it is disabled, what you do? Then make it enable. So what for that? Now I am assigning it B, again BT2, the same button. Now what is the attribute? State attribute. I am set it to a value. So I am saying it, do it normal. Bring it to normal. If it is disabled, bring it to normal. At the same time, what happened? This button 1, nothing, it is always enabled. But I have written the text here enable. Now what happened? Let me just change the text to that. It's optional. It has nothing to do, only to tell us that button 1, what is written text on it. So I am accessing the text attribute to it. Attribute, I am setting the value to now disable. Fine. But what happened if it is already normal? Now this condition, if condition won't be true now, because if it is fine, once I click it, it became normal. Next time when I click it, this will not, because this condition will not be. So what happened? Now I am giving a else condition. Else, that means this button is not disabled. Second button is in the enable stage. In that case, BT2, this button. Now again, the attribute, state attribute. I am saying state attribute, you set it the value to disabled. At the same time, button 1, BT1, the text also, sorry, I have to put it, text attribute, you bring it, write that, it should change to normal. This is just the text written over the button, I am changing it. That's all. Now my code is ready. Just see this. Once I click the first button, BT1, let me run this and you can see there. Yeah, here it is. So what happened? This is BT1, this is BT2. This is disabled because by default I have kept it here, state is disabled. So it is remaining disabled. Now if I click this, this if condition will check the second button state. This state is disabled. Yes, it is true. So what it will do? Make it normal. First it will do make it normal. Then second thing is this, whatever is written enable here, that it will change it to disable. Okay, here enable by default we are writing. So instead of writing it normal here, we can change it to enable. So let me close this, put it enable here. Fine. Now let me run this again. Yeah. Now I'll just bring it. You can see the sequence. I am clicking this. Now this button is enabled now. So now this button text is changed. This particular line number 8 has changed the text of it. Now and line number 7 has changed this, bring it to normal. I can click now. Once I am clicking this, you just see the button 2, I have given a command here, active background is light green. So when I am clicking this, it's becoming light green. I can release this. We have not written any functionality here, so nothing will happen, but only the state is changing. Now you see this text is disabled. Now again I am clicking this. This time this else part will work. This else part, what it will do, it will make the state as disabled. So now this button is disabled and it changes the text written here to enable. So here it is enabled. So the else part is executed. Now if I click again, the if part, this top part will be executed. Let us try that. So fine. So this is, if I am clicking first time the if part, next time the else part, and this button state is changing. That's all friends. Hope you have enjoyed these tutorials, and if you have any doubts, suggestions, questions, use the comment section below to post it. And my request is, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified as and when we add new tutorials, and we are frequently doing that also. Please share this with your friends, and thank you for watching.